Object. So you are aware of that what is object and class, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is meant by, say for example, what is the difference between object and class?
We are defining object inside a class.
Hmm. No, what is the main purpose? By why we will go with object and why what is the main difference between object and class? See, basically in class, this is a blueprint, right? Blueprint. Because there is no any space required for this. Any memory space is not required. Memory space not required. That means that it's a kind of design pattern, design or template. Okay. Whereas in the object, what is meant by object? It consists of real world entity. That means, suppose if we have one class, right? So in order to construct this particular design, you need some memory space. It occupies some space. So that is what we can call it as a object. That means that it consists of state and behavior. State and behavior. Okay. So our state and behavior of the properties. So okay. Behavior. State and behavior, that means it will have the some action items, actions also. So whichever we can able to see and touch, because we are having laptop, right? So that is also called as object because it occupies some space. Even chair, fan in room, whatever we are having the objects, those all are considering as a objects only. So that means that say we have one room is there. In this room, whatever the objects we have, these all are nothing but objects only, right? So these all are the objects. That means that it is occupying some space here. Okay. So whereas for class, you don't require anything because if you have one design template, then you can construct a number of objects. That means that assume that you have one here, you have one blueprint here, we have one design. Say assume that this is a 300 liters water tank mold. You can say this is a mold. So with this, you can construct a number of objects, right? But if you want to construct this object, it requires some space. Without space, you can't construct the objects. Okay, which we can able to see under state and properties behaviors. What is meant by state? Whether he can able to walk, run, or what is the state of that object. And those objects have some names also. Say for example, if you assume that we are having animals, right? So animal. So this is a one kind of animal. So what all are the properties when it comes to the properties? Say for example, name, right? Color, then how they can bark, right? So those all are the things coming under the properties. Whereas in the methods, we can say eat, walk, okay, sleep. So these all are the common methods, right? For all the animals, not only for cat, lion, cat, rat, rabbit, all for all these things. These all are the common methods, and this name, color, height, weight, these all are the properties. So it changes according to the type of animals. Okay. So this is all about this. So properties and states. So that is nothing but a object. So that means that here for all these, they may have their own state and behaviors. Okay, so these are objects. So if you have one class, then you can construct a number of objects. Okay, say if we have that thing, so if I have that one class, if I take, right, suppose if I'm going to create a one class here. See, this is the main class, right? Suppose here we have one class test. Okay, so here I have one method, public void m1. We don't have any method here. So here I can write the program or statement, system dot out dot println object creation. Okay, now this is a class, right? So with this class, how are we going to create the object? Because normally main method will execute, how many programs will execute now? Here, suppose assume that we have one more statement, system dot out dot println. Hi, good morning. So in this case, now how many statements are going to execute for this particular script?
Only one statement which is in main
Correct,
method.
correct, exactly right. So because now if I want to execute this one, what we have to do? We need to create a object, right?
Object, yes.
Yeah, how to create a object? Class name with the
Class name
object reference
reference is equal
is
to
equal to
new
new keyword class name.
class name.
Okay. See, now I have created one object here, right? See, now what is the class name here?
Test.
Right? Object reference OR is equal to new test. Okay. See, now once I created an object, I can construct a multiple objects, right? So here we have this. How to call this? How to call this method? OR dot M1, right?
Yeah.
So now I can create a number of objects here. Okay. See, I can add a number of objects. So if I'll run this, I will get the output of 5 times. Okay, see this, right? So if we have one class, you can construct a multiple objects. Okay, so this is the class and you are able to construct multiple objects also. Okay, so under this object oriented programming, we have mainly so that is the object and class. So this is what we have discussed, right? In WebDriver, what is it relates to here? WebDriver is a interface, right? Say WebDriver. WebDriver driver is equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, so this is our web driver, right? So here Firefox driver is a class implementation class and WebDriver is an interface. Okay, so this Firefox, you can use Firefox driver also here, but we are using interface called as a WebDriver because all the methods present under that WebDriver, it would be applicable for Firefox driver. So that's why we are going to creating that. So in the similar manner here also, this is the object creation. How to create the object, right? Object creation. Object creation, and we can call multiple times. multiple times once you create the object. Okay. So in this, we have inheritance, or you can say data hiding. Data hiding, abstraction, then inheritance. That means easier relation. Then we have polymorphism. Polymorphism, like method overloading and method overriding. Again, method signature. Okay. Then encapsulation. We have constructor, and then we have interface. So these all are the mainly options which are under the object-oriented programming concept. Object, class, data hiding, abstraction, inheritance, method signature, encapsulation, constructor, and interface. These all are comes under the object-oriented programming concept. Okay. So these all are object-oriented programming. So what is the main advantage of this object-oriented programming concept? Suppose if someone will ask you in the interview, how are we going, or where you used the OOPS concepts in your Selenium WebDriver project, or what is the main advantage of OOPS concepts? How are we going to explore that? Why we are going to use these OOPS concepts in our Selenium WebDriver? Because without in including this, we can't create any frameworks also. So how are we going to ensure this, and what is the main advantage? Okay, say I will say one example here. See, basically, assume that we have the personal loans, right? So when we have a personal loans, assume that with the in this department they have created 300 methods. Okay, and we have home loan. So here also they created around 250 methods. And we have educational loan. And here they may created 150 methods. Okay. And okay, so these three are the common loans. Okay, or if we have any business loans, we have, or you can assume business loan have like 400 methods. So what all are you checking this one? Because we have different loans right here. All the methods have different methods, right? So what we are going to see, normally suppose assume this is 250 methods, or we can have or 200, 250. Okay, see, we have personal loans, we have home loans, educational loan, business loans, but each and every time when we are going with these loans, there might be some common methods right across the loan section.
Yes, sir.
Across the loan section, you may have some common methods. Say, assume that you have 200 methods. That means that what all are it related to either customer information or address, location, or some details. So there might be, assuming that we have some 200 or 150 common methods. Okay. Assume that 200 are common methods, or you can say 150 are the common methods. So now what is going to happen? Out of these 150 methods, each and every loan, we can consider it as a loan. Okay. And here we have 150 methods. And now how many are going to left in the personal loan? say for example, now here total how many we are getting methods? As an automation engineer, we have to do as a reusable code, right?
Yes.
500, 900, 1200. Total 1200 methods are there. But if we have this many lengthy of the methods, then why we have the automation engineers, right? So how are we going to reduce this, right? So that is what we are going to see, right?
Yes.
So as a reusable methods, so assume that we have one loan section, and now we can reduce all these. All are the common methods, common functionalities, common methods across all loan section. So now what is going to happen? Personal loan, how many methods we have now left? 150, right? Similarly, home loan, how many methods left? 100, right? Similarly, educational loan, 100. Then business loan, you have 250, right? So now total how many methods are coming here?
200, 550.
So total 450, 600, right?
600.
Yeah. Total 600 methods. Plus you have a common methods, right? 150. You have common methods, right? When you are extending this PL extends loan, then you may have this 150 methods also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are just extending that. So that's why we will get the 150 additional methods. So this is the common method. So total how many we have? 750 methods. How many we got? This is after implementing, after implementing oops. Okay, this is before implementing the oops concept. So here we have the 1200 methods. This is before. Before implementing oops concept. Okay. And this one implementing after oops concept. How many methods are reduced now? Total. So total we have 1200, right? Out of 1200 minus 750, right? So
Yes.
total how many we have? 450, right? For
Yeah.
450 methods, you are able to save this, right? So they all are have the reusable method. We are just telling this is the count. Maybe if this is more than 150 or 200 also. But if you have 200, then your head count is going to be much lesser than this. Okay. So if you have a more common method, then your overall efficiency and overall individual loan section, those methods are going to be reduced, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now these 450 methods are going to saved only. This is nothing but the reusable, right? These all are the reusable methods. Okay. So how the reusable methods are going to be helpful? Say, for example, if I give you a small example, see, I have one class public, right? So what I will do, I will make it here as a add method. I will add two parameters, int a comma int b. So suppose if I want to add two numbers, int c is equal to a plus b. Okay. So if this is the case, now I'm going to print the value c. Okay. See now this is one. Okay. So now how are we going to do this? This is, we are creating an object, right? So if I want to add two numbers, right? Every time I need to use, right? A or dot add method. So we have the add a comma b. That means 10 comma 20 we are passing. Similarly, I can add multiple also, right? I can add n number of values without having any problem. So I will choose here 20, this is 10, this is 40, this is 30, this is 50, and this is 70. Okay. So now if I'll run this, I will get the count of all those addition, right? See, you got all the sum of values, right? See here, we have written in 4 lines of code only. But suppose, normally, if I want to add 2 numbers without having the reusable method, then I need to make it as a here int x is equal to 30, int y is equal to 40. So int z is equal to x plus y, right? Here we have the system dot out dot println z. Okay. See, like this, I have to execute. But see, the 70 we got it. Now, if I have one more values, I can change the variable names, right? Variable names also I have to declare because duplicate values don't allow. Okay. So similarly here also we need to change accordingly. See now. See, for adding addition of 2 numbers only, I am getting how many lines of code? Almost 10 lines of code I am getting, right? So
Yes.
even if you can, and there is a disadvantage here, each and every time you have to assign a new variable, right? If you assign any duplicate variable, so within the same class, that system will throw an error message, right? Okay, so now this is one added advantage. So in this way also, you can able to add this. See, this is nothing but the reusable. So here, total how many lines of code? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 lines of code is there, right? 9 lines. But if I go with this concept, then I have only single line, right? I can able to use var.add. Just simply I will use the 10 comma 30. That's it, right? So like this we can able to use, right? So this is the reusable method. So once we create a class and you can construct n number of object as and when you required. Okay, so this is nothing but like object and class. Okay. Reusable method. I just gave you the example of reusable method, right? So this is a reusable method. This is nothing but the reusable method. And we are going to call this as a parameters. Okay. So these all are the objects. Whenever if you want to call it, it will going to execute the program. Now, which is going to be easy? This one is easy or this one is easy?
The second way is easy.
Yeah, so here you have 5. If I want to add the 5 individual values, I need to get the 5 declared into variables as well. Okay, and that will increase your code length also. Okay, and we don't have any reusability. Okay, so because of that, we need to go with the second preference. And similarly, this will execute main method only. That's why we created the object for this add method also. Okay. So this is about how the reusable methods are going to work out. See, in the similar manner, now you got it right here. So how many 1200 minus 750? 450 methods are reusable methods and are utilizing for the across all the loan sections, right? Okay, so this is about enhancement after implementing. So this is the advantage of object-oriented programming concept. We can minimize the code as much as possible and we concise the code, means we can reduce the code. Okay, length of the code we can reduce it, or we can have the modularity. Modularity in the sense we have the different modules, and we have to create module wise functionalities as well. Okay, so this is nothing but the reusable concept. That's why most of the people are going to prefer object oriented programming concepts. Okay, so now under this we have data hiding. So what is meant by data hiding? By name itself, we can say it's a hiding, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is meaning of data hiding? Normally, when you are going to any ATM or any bank, or if you can have this thing, right? Say for example, in your Gmail account is there. Suppose in Gmail account, until if you can authenticate your details, you can't able to get inside the application, right? You can't able to see your inbox, right?
Yes, sir.
Until you provide some kind of authentication, like once you log in with valid data, then you are able to go into the system. So that is nothing but the data hiding. That means outsiders, outside persons cannot able to view your data. Okay. So how are we going to achieve this data hiding in object-oriented programming concept? When we know that outside persons can't able to view your data, then we have to restrict somewhere, right? So we have the data variables, right? Members, modifiers. We have the modifiers, right? So modifiers, we will have to give the public, private, protected, right? So those all are the modifiers. So you have to use the private modifier. Suppose if you use private for any data member, private string name equal to, then that one only can able to access, none of others cannot able to access those methods. Okay, modifiers. So that's why with the help of data members, we can achieve the data hiding in say this one. Okay, we can hide the data, right, with the help of this private variable. Suppose we have our mobiles. If you put security purpose as a pin, then that is going to be a private, right? That is with data hiding, right? So we are going to hide the data until if you give some kind of authentication, then only that mobile is going to open it, right? If
Yes,
that
sir.
valid, if successful authentication, then only you can able to log in. Otherwise, no other person can able to view your data. Okay. So that can be achieved with the help of modifiers. So by using private modifiers, we can achieve the data hiding. And here security is going to be increased, right? Security. We will achieve more security, right? In this case, right?
Yes.
More security. Okay. So, and another one is abstraction. Okay. So abstraction means what? See, abstraction, whenever we are discussing about the abstraction, same how the data hiding is there. So similarly, abstraction is nothing but we do not have any method implementation. Means implementations are hiding because we won't create any implementation methods inside the abstraction. We do not have any method body. Okay, method body. Okay, only declaration. Okay, only declaration. So this is we can when we are discussing about the interface concept, right? This is going to be fully explained during that time. Okay, when we are going to discuss about that time, we'll discuss that. Okay. So right now, just keep it in your mind that abstraction, we don't have any method body and it's have only the declaration. Okay, say for example, if we have one interface is
Sir,
there.
interface topic is over actually.
Interface we have completed,
Yes.
okay. So in that case, what is meant by interface? Okay, so interface, suppose, what is meant by interface?
There is no object created for this, but it's
Yes,
abstract method.
there is no object creation is, that is fine. That is one. And now suppose if we have any abstract classes are there, right? Say for example here, I am going to create one interface here. I will just, okay, interface. So here I have only public void m1. Okay. Okay, only this much only. Because we don't have any body implementation. Similarly, we have another method called as m2. Okay, see here there is no any body implementation, right? Only
Yes.
method implementation. So who is going to be responsible to implement this concept? Child classes. Say for example, assume that we have the banking solution. So under the banking, RBI is the main. Okay, so assume that this is nothing but a interface. Then we have the SBI, HDFC, ICICI. These all are the implementation classes. So what all are the methods implemented under the RBI? These people will get those methods and they can implement their own features. Okay. So similarly here, say for example, here I have deposit. So assume that deposit and here withdrawal. Okay. So now here I have one more class, SBI. Okay, so this is the class, right? And this is an interface. Okay, so now we have to implement this method. So how to implement that method? Okay, so here we can use the system dot out dot println. Okay, so this is nothing but SBI Bank. See, now this is nothing but a class. Okay, so we have the SBI. Similarly, if I have one more HDFC or some other banks, then we can able to call those methods also. So similarly, I can implement one more withdrawal method. So we have two methods, right? So this is nothing but a withdraw. It's- Okay. So here SBI withdrawal. This is nothing but deposits. So like this. Okay, so these child classes are the responsible to implement the interface methods. Okay, so this is nothing but interface. So where we have this WebDriver, right? Under that WebDriver is an interface, and Firefox driver, Chrome driver. These all are the classes like SBI, ICICI, like this. Okay, so that is about the interfaces. So here also we are just hiding the data. So this is abstraction without method body. We are hiding the data. That means here you can write your logic or SBI bank deposits only 5,000 are able to deposit per day like this. Similarly, for ICICI Bank, they can describe their own. They may implement it 10,000 per day like that. Okay, it depends on bank to bank, and these values are going to be changed. Again, withdrawal limit also. If they want to restrict some withdrawal amount, then they can use the withdrawal like SBI limit. They will keep the limit as well. Okay. So, okay. Now how to, because see, now here we have not getting any, this is the normal method you got it, right? The moment when what we have to do, we have created one interface. Now if I want to implement that, we have to use the keyword, right? Implements.
Yes.
Implements. Okay. See, whenever we are going to implement this concept, then obviously how many methods present under this, we have to be implement without having any problem. Because suppose even though if you are not implementing one more method also, that system will throw error message. See here. The type SBI must implement the inherited abstract methods. Oops. Because these all are the inherited methods, right? So we will have to implement that as well. Then only we are going to accept this. Otherwise, it won't accept. Okay. So this is a concept of implements keyword. With the help of implements keyword, we can extend this. Similarly, ICICI also same concept. If I go with ICICI, so here I will replace SBI with HDFC. Okay. So here maybe HDFC deposits 1 lakh rupee or 50,000. Depends. So I can use 50,000. And similarly for withdrawal, HDFC withdrawal 1,000 rupees. Like this. Okay, 10,000. So this is about the concept of implementations like interfaces and implementations. Child classes are the responsible for implement methods. Suppose I have one more method is there and public, I have abstract method. We have rather than, you can connect on the same link, Srivalli. If you don't have any
Okay,
task,
sir.
then you can connect on the same link. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So here we are going to use public abstract service method.